this is the media track. We've got Wolfgang Allisat here from ComScore. Now, ComScore is a company that collects data. I mean, advertising, marketing data. It's one of the biggest in the world. And Wolf promised us to bring some really interesting data. So maybe we can have some slides up there as well. Tell us, what's the most interesting data point you can bring us? What will shock us here?
Well, I wanted to bring you 5 because
okay, 5.
I really want
Let's
everybody...
show 5. We need the screen here.
Everybody in this room to come to the media track. I'm a mole in the international one. And the good news is, if you just speak English, most of our presentations are in English anyway. So join us in media. I wanted to make it really simple for myself, because last night I found out I had the honor to speak here in the morning, and I found that out at 3 a.m. And so I thought I better get some presentation going, because Monique will kill me on stage otherwise. So these are the 5 lessons I bring with you. And trust me, on the media track, I'm the worst speaker of them all. And so you'll learn a lot more. But first lesson, don't go out the night before. This was not planned, but Berlin is very seductive. And so I did go out. So I apologize for that. 2. Clicks are absolutely dead rubbish. You call it what you like. Please don't use it as a metric anymore. We'll talk a lot more about that. Thank you. At ComScore, we've been preaching this for years now, and I travel around the world talking about nothing else. And I'm very, very passionate about this. So why? I mean, just to give you a little idea, and just to tease you to come to the media track, only about 16% click on an ad. Okay, so that's not a lot of folks clicking on anything in any given month. So don't measure your success by the click. Second, cookie deletion really screws up the math. I was sitting down with a large media company, in fact, one of the largest in the world, last week, and they told me, it's a British company, they told me that if they would trust their old systems, they would have more unique users, in fact, 2 times more unique users than the entire population of the UK. Why is that? Everybody deletes them. So around 30% in the US, 24% in Europe delete their cookie, not just once, but up to 5 times every month. Think about it. You've got about 3 hours to think about it till we talk more about it, but the way you measure reach and frequency is completely wrong. Anything you've done up to today has been wrong. And we'll talk a little bit more how we can fix that. I love the internet. I've done nothing else in my career but the internet. But what I find most fascinating about it is that it's really the same as the offline world, only a little cooler. Okay? And what does that mean? We're now realizing that everything comes in cycles, and we're now realizing, for example, that it's really a good idea to understand and to contextualize where your ads appear, to actually do some copy testing before you run an ad. And so we're getting into this phase where, and we just saw somebody from the other track that's still handing out brochures. Well, that's right, because it's all the same really in the internet. And really, to understand is how do users engage with your content, engage with your ads, and how to contextualize it? Again, we'll talk about that. And then finally, last but not least, we're going to talk about some media placement strategies. So there are so many out there. Do you all know this chart I'm talking about, where agencies on the one side, consumers on the right, and then there are like 4 million companies and ad networks and brokers and all the things in the middle? Everybody raise their hand that's seen this chart that I mean. Okay, now raise your hand if you understand the chart. Because it's very, very complex. The same applies to placement strategies. There's RON, and that's not the Harry Potter RON, that's run of network. There's contextual targeting, efficiency pricing, premium pricing. And what we've done at ComScore is we actually ran a study to analyze what is the relative cost and what's the relative reach of each campaign to really find out what makes sense for what industry and what individual company to place their dollars in. And so we'll talk about how to really compile a multi-placement strategy in the online world to maximize your return on ad spend. So I hope this was teasing and motivating enough for all of you to come. That's it from me, and I'll see you over there, just on the other side of the building, in the media track. Thank you very much.
Thank you.